welcome back to the U Up Podcast Friday Feels. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good.
Been? How you feeling on a Friday?
How am I feeling?
This is Tuesday, May 20th that we're taping this, but it comes out on Friday, May 30th. This is like June.
Yeah.
This is it. We are in the summer.
You are in Florida. Almost.
I'm moving. Today is the day where I probably am flying down.
Wow.
I am so not ahead of this move.
Do you have well, doesn't your lease start the 1st? Where are you going to stay?
Lease starts the 1st. I asked to get in that weekend early.
Oh, and they said yes?
They were all about it.
So
everything's
easy
coming up, Jared. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is
Florida.
it unoccupied now?
No, there's someone in there. I'm gonna go live with them for the end of the end of the month. We're gonna cuddle in the bed, and then I say goodbye.
Yes,
and
then you help them move out.
Right, one comes in, another leaves. No, I think it's empty. So I was like, can I get in there a weekend early? Like, ask the landlord, and they're like, get down here, get in this water. It's warm.
Okay, so you're leaving today.
I think that's the plan. Like,
wow.
it is funny that.
I'm leaving on a jet plane.
That's right. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Probably next week.
You actually, I think you are coming back next week.
Coming back to tape one of these episodes. I would say, it's funny. I think.
Do you have a last hurrah that you're going to do?
I'm going to fade into the mist.
Okay.
No, nothing
There's no
bothers.
Going away party?
No, nothing bothers me more than a goodbye New York Instagram post.
Okay.
Those during the pandemic were that was my first, I think, like pandemic, like annoyance that wasn't actual sickness.
I want to see you in an empty apartment. Sprawled out on your moving boxes with whichever company is sponsoring you.
Hashtag get you 20% off whatever the
Jared
movers.
15.
Jared 15. No, this city doesn't need me. Don't need you.
Right.
This is my big pump up speech. This city don't want you. It don't need you. It'll eat you up and spit you out.
Doesn't give a shit that you're leaving.
No, there'll be a new Jared that moves in and farts around and chubbies it up.
Did they rent your apartment?
I haven't even. This is the questions I get from women. You women.
I love a move. I love the details.
Women
of the move.
love a move. You're not alone. This is what I was going to say.
Someone packing for you? What will you do?
Right. This is Summer Rose
is packing up for you.
Organizer to the stars.
And then you have a moving company. They're shipping your shit.
She's taking care of everything. I've hired a wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she's done the whole thing.
Summer Rose should market herself as like for single guys. I've just hired a wife. Rent a wife. Hourly.
An assistant.
I will say that I think I talk to more women than most men, maybe. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know what.
Well, I started listening to
the J-Train podcast. Thank you.
Of course. Of course.
My other podcast?
But I would listen to this Logan Ury episode with Scott Galloway on Diary of a CEO podcast. And they're talking about where are the men.
Right. Scott Galloway, who has been on the roller coaster of what people feel about him. He went from like, look at this guy's speaking the truth, to like liberals started to hate him. He started like getting blamey
too
of
much.
women.
Okay.
You can hear
that a little bit in this, but it's kind of a debate.
Okay.
I love a podcast that some people hate a debate. They think it's tense. They don't like it.
Right.
I love a debate.
You like hearing it out. You want. I
want to hear both sides and make up my own mind.
Right. You're a critical thinker. I would say.
I would hope.
I think some people are just like, some people get. I mean, that's where offense comes from. Fear of hearing that someone else disagrees with you so much.
Right.
That you go, and then they feel, that's where like anger comes from on the internet. Like, I can't believe this opinion is even out there. And there's people that agree. The idea of platforming someone, that is a distrust of humans to like
hear something they might not agree with.
To hear something that they'd never heard that is so crazy that they just agree with it. That they're like, the people are too stupid to make their own decisions. But again, I this gets into like, this goes down the slippery slope of so many topics. But
right.
But so you heard a debate with.
Well, it was a debate between them, and the one thing they agreed on is that there are more eligible women than there are eligible men.
Yeah. Well, I think on that, I saw a TikTok. I hope we can find it. It was this woman who. It was mean. It was mean. And it was like...
Mean to who?
To men.
Okay.
Like, listen, that's a statement
How could they platform this?
Right. Get her off! Ban her! Yeah. She goes on and she's just like, it's just this shit talk fest about how horrible the men are on Hinge.
Okay.
And how great the women are. How does she know? You know, I agree.
You're like, I agree with her.
I agree with the sentiment. Right. I also like, it's like scoring a touchdown. You know, there's a different... No, it was a different woman. She was, it really, and the comments were like, yes, all I see are there's only boss women, boss babes, boss this. And it's like, okay, like, I don't, like, you're not solving anything. Because at one point, this woman who thinks that all the men are trash and horrible on Hinge will find someone. Right. And then this will all be a bad dream. Mm-hmm. This will all be you going to Oz. And the great wizard will be your uncle. And, you know, like, this is all going to go away. And then what? Your husband was the one good guy?
No. Right.
The one eligible bachelor? Or is your husband one of those trash men that you just are dealing with and you just look down on him? You know, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good way to set yourself up.
Well, I think the crux of this episode is basically that, like, boys are being left behind. Boys and then seemingly men, as they get older, are sort of being left behind.
Because that's where Scott Galloway gets in trouble a little bit.
That he's saying boys are... I mean, Logan
he's like
Ury
blaming
agrees.
women. He's like, and there's a lot of women who rightfully so are going, it's not my responsibility. They can go fuck themselves.
Right. No, I don't. I don't think it's like the... I mean, the interesting part of the conversation to me isn't like, oh, who's to blame? But I think there was obviously a societal push to like push women up, you know, tell them they can be anything. Logan's talking about her daughter that like gets, you know, as soon as she's born, she gets all these books of like, here's all the amazing shit that you can do.
How many panels are the Betches going to be on this week?
To the point, I mean,
every panel, women in this, women in that. I see all the panels.
Right, which is a great thing.
Right, there's just no like, I mean, no male panels.
Well, I think the idea is that like they're in, you know, that men or boys are a little bit being overlooked in this sense, and then what that leads to then is like, again, less eligible men for all these super accomplished women, and there's more women graduating college, and in some cities women are earning more money than men. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, but there, I forgot what the term is called, but like there is a term that represents that women want to date men who are equal or higher education, equal or higher pay, and men don't really care as much. So the eligible men, there's just like fewer of them, and then you get to the eligible men, like you.
That's right.
I mean, I said it, you didn't.
All
right. And those men then won't even settle down because they have so many choices, so they can't decide.
It's too much pussy.
I mean, kind of.
That's right.
That's. I mean, again, I haven't finished the episode. But I thought it was just like very interesting because it kind of it does feel like kind of the New York that I see, which is like, or the emails that we get, a lot about eligible women who are all working on them. They're working out. They're going to therapy. They're working on themselves constantly, and then they're all sort of competing for 5 eligible men who have a million choices and then don't choose anyone.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the plight. I don't disagree with like anything you said. It's like, again, like it's like one of those things. Like how do you say it? How do you go through it? You know, like I do see. I agree with it. Then I see the TikTok that's like, look at all these trash fucking losers I have to deal with, and you know, none of them can get a fucking erection, and I'm here a boss bitch with an education.
Well, that's not how
$1 million.
That's not this. This is a higher level debate. I would say.
But I see that and I go, you know, just because you're right doesn't mean you're classy. Right. You know, like or
are you solutions oriented?
Right. I guess like I'm in fixer mode, right? Because I do think I've had this on this show where I'm like, I don't know where the men are hanging out. Like I don't know where these eligible bachelors are. Like and I'm like, where am I? Like where am I hanging out? Right,
but also you're someone who again has many choices of dates. I think it does reflect the issue of the men who are eligible, the men like you, do not feel like a strong sense of like, I must pick one.
Well, it's also, I mean, to defend the kind of like guy who's not really making a move or picking, in my, you know, where I get in a thing where it's like, oh, okay, fine, you're good enough. You know, it doesn't feel special.
Well, because there's none of them available.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go, it's like this
supply
like weird,
and demand issue.
It's a weird catch-22 because it's like, I have options, but then the options just seemingly are like, yeah, let's go to day 2 and day 3. And I'm like, well, we haven't even like connected. And it's like, I just feel like a box I check a lot of boxes.
Right. But it's like, if there's
know?
a scarcity problem, then
Right.
you kind of like do feel like, all right, I found one. Like you think
Right.
about like the COVID housing, people were bidding on houses that they haven't even seen yet.
Right.
And I mean, the houses don't have feelings, but if
Yeah, the
they
house
did, they
doesn't
might
have
be
to-
like, you don't even know me.
Right. The house doesn't have to be excited,
Right.
like, and I've talked about that here. It's like men do want to be excited. Men want to feel like they're climbing.
Mm-hmm.
They want to feel like they're, achieving, catch the lion.
Right.
And it's funny, like, even like since we've been doing this show, like that's an evolution. That's a plot point that's been evolving.
Right.
Like when we first started doing this show, I don't think we talked as much about this, but this feels like it's a huge topic right now.
Well, I think it's like an even bigger topic as we get older, as the daters we're talking about are in their
Right.
mid to late 30s or even 40s. I think that is more, more evident where, again, the eligible male pool seems like it's smaller compared to higher achieving, more successful women in their 30s.
Right. And you just try to think of like, what's the incentive? Like I just don't even know if these men that we're talking about are here. Like I'm thinking of New York City specific, but like,
Well, does anyone ever be like, oh, do you have any friends? Or
I
like,
get asked that a
yeah.
lot, and I think of like,
And you're like, no.
no. Well, that's a big part of my move to Delray.
I get asked, like,
do you have any friends on there? I'm like, friends?
I get asked-
would never even think of.
Does Mike have any friends? Like,
Mike has friends. I think that was the one thing I noticed most about Mike.
Well, not
Solid
single,
friend group.
not single friends really anymore.
You're getting ahead of it. Don't DM Jordana.
mean-
They're pretty much all spoken for.
Right.
But what did they? They all moved. I mean, where did they live? What did they do?
All of his friends?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have the same job like Darius. Right.
Right, but people. They all go to
They're
one
migrating.
office.
Yeah.
No, I think of that group.
Yeah.
He has a solid group of buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
they
friends.
range everything. There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's
Right.
finance guys, there's.
But there was no
Yeah.
the loser. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking.
I can think of a few characters, but as
Yeah.
far as like, did I think like any of them were like low achieving men? No.
No.
I was like, oh, these are all like really like doing great
Right,
guys.
but
Like,
those guys are not single.
right. And that was always my point with like all these, like when I give empathy to the men that get written out in here, I'm like, listen, all my friends are working douchey guys, like,
Nice.
bros that like go out.
Welcome to New York.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like the guys that I know from college, from high school, they're all like, they like to make fun of each other and have fun and go out and eat and drink and they all settle down. And they like women,
Yeah.
like, and they all found their way to the suburbs, found their way to
Right. I guess the issue
monogamy.
is that there's less of them than there are. How many single women do you know? Eligible single women.
So many.
So many.
I know this is why I'm not disagreeing with the premise, because listen, I took a Barry's boot camp class this morning, all women.
Maybe the solution is to pump up boys so that there's more eligible men.
That's a
Or
long-term solution.
Women can date down.
I actually just watched a TikTok. This is like the date update down. Age has to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching Remy Bader,
Yeah.
who I like watching her life. Like, I take an interest in what she's on social media. She's very much online. Now she's talking about her dating life. She's like, should I raise my Hinge from 25 to 26 or something like that? She like has the age range.
How old is she?
30 for her. And someone tagged me in the U Up podcast TikTok on her TikTok where she's asking
Okay.
her audience what she should do. And I was like, she's open invite. Come on the show.
Okay.
I was like, she's 30 with the men range for 26?
No.
No.
I agree. I mean, that's always the advice you would also get, I think, when younger. It would be like older.
Right,
older.
but then
yeah.
this in this conversation, that we're having right now, like, catch them while they're young so that they like get these guys that.
But the 26 does a 26. Here's the tough part. You have to catch them in that. We talked about this having your cab light on. You have to catch them in that 10-minute window where they're ready to settle down, but they haven't met anyone yet.
Right.
And that's why
everyone crazy.
And that's why the woman you going on a date with are like, all right, when's the second date? When's the third date? Because there's like a 10-minute window of like, I caught one. Now lock it down, and then I'll fix them up. We'll figure it out.
It's very funny.
I'm gonna buy this house sight unseen, and then I'm just gonna put some work into it. If it needs issues, I'll figure it out.
That's the clip. I know it because I was thinking of her, and I'm like, now in this conversation, like we're sitting here being like, we're eye rolling 30-year-old Remy, having her things set to 26.
Right.
Like we're actively sitting here being like,
bad idea.
Bad idea. Like, we've done this long enough.
I mean, here's the thing. Can it happen? Sure.
I mean, what are you looking for? Like, how serious are you from her side? Mm-hmm. And then we're having this conversation of like there's not a lot of older guys, there's scarcity. So it's like, you got to set your age range for 29 to 31 and a half. And then, like for 15 minutes during sundown.
Basically,
after they've been out of a long-term relationship.
Make sure you don't go 2 weeks before a second date.
Right. Make it happen. I don't know.
It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum.
It's a conundrum, and I'm sitting here as like trying to be, the voice of male reason, so to speak, and like, for myself, like, I do have moments. We did say the men have the one that got away. Like that's like
right.
And I feel that in my life. I'm like, am I just Uncle Jared? Mm-hmm. Like, should I just like start like talking to women and being like, hey, it's never gonna happen for me.
Okay.
But we can do like a few nice
Don't
dates.
fall in love with me, kid. That's your mantra.
I don't know. Okay, we'll do a few nice dates. I'm gonna treat you right.
Do you feel like if there were 5 eligible women in New York City, you would have locked one down by now?
What do you mean? If there were only 5?
Do you feel like you have so many choices that you can have that attitude?
I feel like I can.
And this isn't you bragging or you saying whatever.
Say whatever you want. I don't really feel that I won't meet a great person next week or last week or in 2 months.
Right.
And I'm moving to Del Rey and still going on dates here, knowing if I find someone here, I can just like move or we'll figure it out.
Right.
But that's like the beauty of like time, money, energy, no kids. Like that's something I have on my side. I have a lot of privilege in that.
And that's why so many women would also do that. They wouldn't be like, this guy's saying he's out here in New York all the time. Like,
right.
That's why
I say that.
Yeah. But women don't say that.
No,
they're like, we'll figure it out. Whatever.
We'll figure it out. But I'm saying that now at 40, like it is. I mean, a lot of women I date that I kind of, it's funny. They're like, their needs are like that of a 65-year-old woman. They're like, I just want someone to hang out with and travel with. I'm like, that's what retired people say, but it is. It's kind of like, I'm like, don't we have to like go backwards and have the kids and the family and the struggle? But like, maybe that's not what happens when
I don't think that's what happens first. Yeah. Right.
Let's talk about today's
Icky or Picky.
We got Icky or Picky.
Speaking of scarcity.
Disgusting and scarcity.
Yes.
All right, so let's do an Icky or Picky. We love this game. Basically, they're dating someone, and then one thing happens, and are they being picky by like?
Are they being picky? Is this stupid thing to end something with someone over, or is it actually icky? And we're letting them. We're giving them the okay to be a little superficial.
Right. Even though we just had a 20-minute conversation about how there's like 7 men in the country.
There's 7 men, so now all the icky or pickies are just picky.
Right.
Blanket picky for the month.
That's what Scott Galloway would say. Here's the thing, like I'm the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a catch. Like I'm okay. Like it'll be fine. I'm not even saying that to like. What did I watch? Jesse Solomon. Do you see this guy?
Yeah. Of course, I watched someone else.
This guy is brutal. I gotta say, he is.
What makes you look like a prince?
He makes me. I watch him. I'm like, let me just coach this kid. I mean, like,
come on the podcast, Jesse Solomon.
He's got to come on.
Yeah.
I saw him on with Tinks. Oh my God, it was like two pieces. Like it was watching 2 paints dry. Like that was like, who's listening to this?
What were they talking about?
do you think you it was like it was horrific.
I'm not getting a good sense of what the conversation was.
Maybe I'm doing a bad job. I don't know. It was just like, he's like talking about what type of woman he wants. And then like, it was like, I want a successful woman, probably. You know, like, it's just like, dude.
I think he's like 27.
Right.
27. That's the option. And that guy can have anyone. It's so stupid. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he is the best example of like, look what's out there. Not to trash him, but I was like, he wasn't funny, smart, or interesting. I was like,
that's New York. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And he's like, why is
come
he
on
on that show?
Come on the show.
Yeah, we'll have you
You're
on
welcome.
anytime. He just didn't sound like he was even being honest. Like,
of course not. He's gonna have talking points because everyone hates him from the season, which you haven't seen. And
right.
I think there's
I gotta watch it, I think.
You should watch Summer House. Great show. So
Yeah.
much dating shit to unpack. It's like insane.
I'll watch the season. We can do a little
do it. Yeah.
YouTube
We'll
of
do a
it.
little
Let's do something.
reunion
All right,
episode.
let's do an Icky or Picky.
All right, Icky or Picky. Love the pod. I've been binging episodes to stay grounded while navigating the dating scene. I would love to hear your thoughts on this Icky or Picky. I matched with a guy on Bumble and we set up a date. He offered up lunch or dinner as a first date, but I countered with just drinks. He said happy hour sounds like a great idea, then followed up and let me know he's cut back on his drinking in the last year and a half, but he doesn't mind if I had a couple of drinks. He also mentioned that he'll probably just get water or bring his own Crystal Light packet. I totally respect the decision not to drink, and I appreciated him letting me know ahead of time as well, but I was turned off when he mentioned bringing his own Crystal Light packet to the date. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and still going on the date, but I want to know, is it Icky or Picky to be turned off if your date brings his own Crystal Light packet to the restaurant? Sincerely, BYOCL, batch, bring your own Crystal Light.
The pickings are slim for men, I guess, because
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's like, should I just lock this guy down? Just like...
he's bringing Crystal Light in his pocket. Like, this is an example of like, say less. Like, just go on the date. Hey, I'm not drinking right now, but I would love to go get a drink with you, and I'll pick a place. Just do that.
Right.
Like, I understand.
I'll bring my own Crystal Light.
What is he gonna be like? Like, I just keep imagining him like, so shaking up the Crystal Light. Well, so how you got siblings?
It's bad for two reasons, I think. One,
making the Crystal Light.
One, it feels cheap.
Love Crystal Light, by the way. Were you a Crystal Light family?
No, the last time I had Crystal Light was like a pregame in college.
Really?
People would bring Crystal. You bring Crystal Light to the pregame, put it in the water bottle, and then chase your shots with it.
Well, Crystal Light.
I don't do that anymore.
Right, you've grown up.
But I was not a Crystal Light family, so that was my only experience.
Is Crystal Light Jewish?
I'm Jewish. I don't drink Crystal Light.
People would come to my house. They'd be like, such a Jewish thing. We'd always have Crystal Light.
Really?
Because it's 0 calories, a lot of body issues. Also, that's why people drank with it. It'd be like a 0 calorie mixer.
Okay.
That you could like put vodka in. We used to make Skippies in college, but that was Country Time lemonade. Skippies was a 30 rack of beer, a container of Country Town lemonade, like the powder, and a bottle of vodka, all mixed in. And because it's so sweet, because it's so like sweet and low, basically, you like don't taste anything. It's crazy.
Right. Well, that's why it's a great chaser.
That's right. It's a great chaser. That's why it's a great mixer. This is just a plug for Crystal Light. I just.
But not on a date.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm just gonna bring my own Crystal Light. What is this? A picnic?
Right.
This is crazy.
Well, first off, it feels cheap. Like, just order a drink. Like, order a seltzer. Order like a flavored drink.
Right. I can't speak to this guy. I can speak to this woman who wrote in, just because I'm like, this sucks. To me, like, if the guy can't think enough to be like, let me put a place together. This is something I'm doing. I don't need to make it your problem. This is how he acts about everything, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, he just made his drinking thing your problem.
Feel weird, too.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's not doing that by saying, I don't mind that you drink.
Right. This is his problem solving skills. Look at how badly he is doing this problem solve. Like,
right.
If his answer to I don't drink is, oh, I'll just bring a backpack full of Crystal Light and snacks and she can get whatever she wants. That's how he operates.
Right.
It's okay to be turned off. I don't think it's an ick. I think it's more like, I don't think you're being picky. I think it's an ick to be like, yeah, I don't want to go out with the person who's not really making a thoughtful date for me.
I agree.
Order club soda, order Pellegrino. Bottle of Pellegrino looks good. You've actually like bought something.
Okay.
If the woman's sober and she was like, and never mentioned it. And I was like, hey, we're going to go to this place. And she was like, hey, I just looked it up. I'm not a drinker. And they don't have any like non-alc drinks. Is there a place that you can think of, or can we go to this place? Mm-hmm. That would be something I'd be okay with.
Okay.
All right, let's do another email.
Okay.
J&J, I'm a long-time listener and subscriber. Thank you. I met a subscriber this morning, a male.
A male subscriber.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Good guy. He's one of those eligible dudes.
Is he?
Maybe. I don't know. He said 36, single.
I know a list of women who are ready to be set up. They're ready to marry him. No questions asked.
This guy, he seemed like a good guy. Knew my cousin, so he's got a connection to my family, to my
your aunt theory.
My aunt theory. I could keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
What was his name? Sam. Hey, Sam.
Sam, single Sam in the city.
Single Sam.
Lock him down.
Seemed like a good guy. I mean, like,
subscribe to this show. Yeah.
I, 44 female, have been dating a 50-year-old male for about 6 weeks now. After our first date, I told him I was planning to move to Mexico in the summer. So I was only looking for something casual. He was fine with that. Oh, really? But since then, we have really hit it off, and he has told me multiple times that he's not dating anyone else. Last time we had sex, he asked, sit on my face and tell me you love me. Guess you guys are engaged now. I was taken aback by the tell me you love me part. Come on.
Do you think he loves her?
No. And couldn't bring myself to say it. Now I'm wondering if this was just a heat of the moment request from him, or if he's actually hoping I would say it sincerely. I'm open to... I'm laughing at the idea of her...
She needs the show. She needs
the show.
Yeah.
But if she's on his face while he eats her out going, hey, I just wanted to respond to your I love you. Yeah, keep going.
So you
I
love
love you too. Well, on the face. I'm open to saying whatever turns my partner on during sex, but saying I love you for the first time to someone in that context felt uncomfortable to me. Any thoughts would be appreciated. What do you think, Jordana? Do you think
I think
he loves her?
I don't think he loves her. I do think it's like an annoying kind of like weird request. And I think that like, but it also feels weird probably on her end to be like, that made me uncomfortable. Like, do you like, I don't want to say that because then it almost makes her feel like, oh, she's taking it seriously. So I can understand why she's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Right.
I think anything within the confines of the bedroom, and the bedroom being sexual, physical touch, that, you're into it, you're kissing.
It doesn't count?
It doesn't count.
So he's allowed to ask for it?
I think she's also allowed to be turned off by it and say that's not really like how I play the game.
Right.
I think this is like, two people playing one-on-one basketball. Yeah, we're going to go by 1s to 11. No, I play by 2s to 15.
Not a match.
Not a match. Well, it can be a match. I just think there needs to be a talk.
Right.
I think him saying, sit on my face and tell me you love me. I mean, that's more of a Bon Jovi lyric than it is an actual him getting... And also, he didn't say, I love you.
Right.
He's saying, tell me you love
me. Yeah.
Right. Is like, again, like So, I mean, that's...
You up etiquette. If you're going to start a phrase with, sit on my face, don't end it with,
tell me you
love me.
I get what she's saying. Like, the I love you is important to me. It's not sexualized to her.
Right.
I think it is sexual to him to have a woman, quote unquote, worship him.
Right.
In a way.
Yeah.
So
I would be more comfortable sitting on someone's face and telling them that I hate them. I think that's more allowed.
And there's a man out there right now who's turned on by that.
If that was a request, I think that would be a more normal request. It almost feels like I don't know. It feels like a little, not manipulative, but like a little, I could see why if like the relationship is purely casual, it's like a weird thing to say to someone.
I also see how it's not. Like I hear kind of both sides of that. Like I can see like, hey, we said this was casual, and then you're bringing the L word into this, but you're in the throes of. I've said the word love while fucking, you know what I mean, and had it mean.
You've said I love you.
I've said I love you during fucking, but it meant I love you. I don't think I would like say that to someone I didn't love.
Okay.
But also, tell me you love me wouldn't be, to me. I read this as like sex talk.
Okay.
And I do think sex talk can involve the word love. But I can also understand how someone goes, hey, that's kind of not how I play it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. not a monster, but yeah, I think it's okay to opt out.
Right. Like, I think for her question is, am I overthinking this? No. That it's kind of a surprising answer. She's not overthinking this in the context of like, hey, I didn't like how that felt.
Okay.
At a minimum, like
Yeah.
at the baseline, like, let's get out of the game of like, does he love me, not love me? That's overthinking it. Like,
He doesn't love you.
yeah, he doesn't love
Okay.
me. Okay, but it didn't feel right, and that's all that matters.
It's not for you.
And that I just want to make sure she knows, like, you can still go back to like fucking, but like, hey, that's like a line for me,
Right.
In a way that, like, a line, sometimes feels like it has to be this like agreed upon thing by the whole society. Like, you don't hit someone unless that's something you guys are into. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
those lines are more clear. This line of like, he might just, this is what he says without thought to it. And you're like, hey, I do put thought to it.
You want to get him to stop that? The next morning, ask him if he loves you.
Right. Hey, I was thinking about when I was
Yeah.
sitting on your face.
Yeah, because you brought up, like love and
Right.
our feelings for each other. And is that do you love me? Is that how you feel?
You-
I think he will not do that anymore.
Right. I was thinking when your nose was in my anus.
Is this love?
We solved dating again.
We did it. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Boom.